do you think are some of the better ways or like ideas to do better storytelling for the LGBTQ community on television?
Well,
And it's like it's always like a loaded question of like, oh my gosh, like I mean, I don't know, to like come up with these ideas, but yeah, I mean, it's needs to be done.
um, hmm, really think about it.
You
Dang,
can
Renee,
think about it, you can
you're
ruminate on
good.
it, and we can come back to it. But no, it's, I mean, I think just like finding those ways to tell those stories better. You know, I would just had
I
Kazim on.
honestly,
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Yeah, honestly, I feel like just letting them be them, letting the community be like letting everyone individually be themselves. I think that's honestly the best way to call it, because like people, as far as like storylines, like feel like it has to be, it has to push the envelope, and I feel like it doesn't have to. I
Yeah.
feel like you can have, a storyline with an openly gay male and a cisgender straight male, and it still be, cool. Like I feel like
Yeah.
when you look at Bowens on TV, you don't think of Bowens as like, oh, the gay wrestler.
No, yeah.
He's
He's a
just Anthony
wrestler.
Bowen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like honestly just letting like even people don't look at Layla and even identify her really, like they don't go to that,
Right.
immediately. And I feel like
Yeah.
just kind of letting everybody just be them. And even like with me, like I pitch storylines all the time that, isn't about my sexuality, isn't about the way I look. It's just straight up like, ideas that will just keep me in dialogue with the fans, like
Like
just
what
letting
kind of things, like what kind of ways do you think are that you wanted to highlight stuff like that?
Um, just by I'll just it's more about being used. Like I can't really do it if I'm not really being used, but it's just
Sure.
more about just being on the forefront.
Yeah.
Yeah, being seen. Yeah, not the forefront, but you know what I mean, like being seen, by the
Well,
audience and
yeah,
just
of
being
course.
in
I mean,
dialogue with them.
you need to have that visibility and to be out
Yeah,
there to make
exactly.
any sort of change at
Right,
all,
right,
right?
right, right.
Yeah. I know
So I
it's
think
funny. I
with the
feel like,
more, I'm sorry.
go ahead.
Yeah, with the more like I, hopefully like with this year coming, I, able to get opportunities.
Yeah.
Hopefully I'll be able to, tell those stories and be in the dialogue with them and kind of like give that representation from my point of view for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, it's such a, I feel like it's a conversation that I've definitely been having a lot. I feel like either on this show or on my serious show where it's talking about diversity, and we've been talking a lot about you know, black wrestlers being able to tell better stories and have better storylines and have better championship runs, et cetera, et cetera. And I think also having this conversation about the LGBTQ community being able to do these great storylines as well. I mean, yeah, I mean, you mentioned Sonya Deville. I know that that was something that she was fighting for a lot in WWE, and I really, I can't wait to see her get to do some of those stories. She's so damn talented and she's
She's so,
so good.
I love her
She's
so
so
much.
great. Yeah, I
Yeah.
can't wait to see what she does. But yeah, you're right. I mean, let's get Sonny out there to begin with.
Yeah.
We can tell these stories. Let's
Yeah.
get it
And
going.
I want to, definitely say like I love being at AEW, and I think that it's awesome that AEW allows all of their LGBTQ talent to be themselves
Mhm.
and allow everyone in the community to, just diversity in general, like allow them to embrace that. And the company does embrace it. Like we have, Tony Khan is a brown man, Mega is a
Yeah.
brown woman. I feel
Yeah.
like they are, being inclusive and allowing diversity to be seen for sure. So I think
Yeah.
I definitely want to make that statement. I'm just saying that I can't tell my own stories if I'm not shown. So
Sure. Yeah.
we'll work on that.
We will
Yeah.
certainly work on that.
Yeah.
100%. One of the things that I also really love that you have been doing was working with Joey Janela. I love you two as like a tag team. I think is fantastic. Why are we not doing more of this? I loved you and Joey together.
Oh my God, teaming with Joey was crazy. I
Yeah, he's
absolutely
nuts.
loved it. I love Joey Janela so much. Joey works very, very hard. I
He
don't think people
does.
really realize that. He works very
Hustles.
hard, and he's so Like he cares so much about this business, and you know, even like his match with your husband, like that match was
Yeah.
amazing. Their like that match so good,
I
and I
think
think
that
Joey.
was like one of John's like first big matches with AEW was with Joey. I know John's a big fan of Joey's.
Yes, Joey proves time and time again that he is, you know, just ready for any opportunity that's thrown his way. He's awesome, and even with him, he always pushes me to step outside the box because sometimes I can be a little complacent and I'm very shy and very nervous.
Wait, you're a shy and nervous person? Really?
I am. I am very shy and very nervous. I mean, I've definitely gotten better with. Well, I was going to talk about that after, but with our feud, you know, after our tag team was over, I became a lot more like, I don't give a, you know, I'm gonna kick to that. You know, like I've gotten more intense, and yeah, I will say definitely before that, I definitely was like a little like, ooh, I don't know if I should do this, or ooh, you know, how do I do that? Like, and Joey would definitely basically help me step outside the box and be a more serious, be taken more serious for sure.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting. I never would have thought of you as like being a nervous person or like a nervous performer or anything like that because you never see it. You always just seem like you were like ready to go.
Yeah,
How do you like
incredibly
overcome
shy.
that? It's hard. It is hard. I mean, I've definitely had moments when I've like felt nervous or you go in like I would like go through like these like ebbs and flows where there's times that I felt like I was like super confident and good and I wouldn't shake,
Yeah.
wouldn't waver, nothing like that. But then there's other times that I'm like, oh shit, what?
Okay, so I'm gonna get really deep for a second.
Please do.
I haven't told this on a podcast ever before, or even really publicly. So I think a lot of my biggest issue, honestly, like being a wrestler, was the fact that it was more so in my own head for sure. But being having that complex in my head of, oh my god, if I'm like this is too aggressive and too masculine. And when I'm like tough, you know, it makes me it like creates like a complex in my head. And then I feel like toughness isn't attractive or like, you know, appealing when I do it. Because I just feel like I wasn't born a cisgender. I wasn't born a woman. So I think a lot of times like I would hold back because I would hold back with fear of not being seen as attractive and feminine like I am. So for the longest time, a lot of time, like in a lot of matches, I would definitely like, you know, wouldn't really like go full force the way I really could. And, you know, am I saying this right? Yeah. I think a lot of times I was very, very like scared. And I definitely didn't know mentally which way to really, really be. But I learned that I can be super strong and powerful and tough and jacked and muscular and still be sexy and feminine and all that stuff. And I think that was like the biggest thing for sure.
It's such an interesting juxtaposition because I mean, I've definitely felt that way before. If I feel like even just like, you know, going to the gym and the way that I'm working out to the way that my body looks to different things like that, that it's so funny the way that our brains work and what we
Yeah.
think of as being feminine and what we think of as
Yeah.
being beautiful and what we think other people think of as being beautiful and feminine. It can be such a mind.
It
It's
is.
crazy rather than just like fully leaning into these like incredible qualities that you have, you feel that you want to downplay them. What
Yeah.
is with that? Why
I
are
don't
we like
know.
that?
I would stop working out because I feel like I would be emasculating men. I would, you know, pretend I wasn't as strong as I was. Like I would purposely lose at like, you know, battles of arm wrestling, like just
It's
weird things. Like
crazy,
all
but I
my
get
life,
it.
like yeah, all my life, I would definitely like try not to be seen in a masculine way because I didn't want that. I don't want people to. I want guys because being that I wasn't born a female, I wanted guys to be attracted to me still by just being me.
Yeah.
So I felt like I had to be as womanly as possible or feminine as possible for them to, you know, find me somewhat attractive. You know what I mean? Like it's so weird. Like that's
It
bad.
is. Yeah. It's just, it's such a, and like, okay. So how have you overcome this? Is this something you still are struggling with?
So with this whole storyline and development of my character, the beautiful badass,
Mhm.
it's literally making that statement now of I'm tough, I'm strong, I'm sexy, and I'll still kick your ass. So I feel like now that I've kind of developed with the storyline with Joey and getting involved with all that blood and like the hardcore stuff.
You sick sons of bitches.
And just being inspired by deathmatch wrestling and like just all of these people that are like going super super hard on TV and really really making a name for themselves and just really just going all out and you know for lack of better term making an ass of themselves by just not caring.
Mhm.
I definitely use that as inspiration. I also just feel like too with my career going forward, I don't want to be, continuously in the back burner. Like I want people to say like, yo, Sonny can go too. Sonny doesn't,
Yes.
Sonny's not just like, just some filler wrestler. Like, no, like Sonny can go. So definitely that's what I wanted to portray. And I wanted that to be real. And so I really, really, got dug deep for that. And I really, really felt in my heart and soul that it doesn't really matter how feminine I am and how womanly or how strong I look, I can still be, feminine and sexy.
Of course. And like, I think it's really cool too. I mean, you talked about like, when you started in like 2013 to where we are now, and just everyone's minds are more open. Everybody is all these different body types and different shapes and
Mm-hmm.
whatever are so much more visible on television. I think everyone's idea of what beauty is morphing and is continuing to morph. And like, thank God for
It's true.
that. Cause like trying to fit into all of these molds of like, and I mean, no shade at all, but it's like when you look at like what the initial idea of like being a diva was to
Mm-hmm.
how we are looking at
Yeah.
female wrestlers nowadays is like, holy shit, like it's so different and
But
it's
even
so
like,
nice to see.
yeah, but even like interesting enough too, like when I look at other people, I don't have these same thoughts for them like I do myself.
Right.
I thought China was sexy. I thought, I think Nikki Bella is super sexy. I think Beth Phoenix is sexy. It's like they're all different kinds of body types.
Yeah.
And I didn't think that China was less womanly or because Beth is, oh my God, Beth is a
Don't
goddess.
even get me started on Beth.
Jade,
I
Jade,
am like
there's so many.
Beth's like fan club member number one. I love Beth Phoenix.
Yeah, all these different beautiful, strong body types. And Molly Holly was so fit and gorgeous. And there's
Yeah.
Jazz is stunning and Jacqueline and all these tough women. And I just like I never thought once like that doesn't look womanly or feminine. It's so weird that I have it's all in my own mind.
Yeah. No,
And
I
even
know. Yeah.
my friends all the time, they would be like, like people like there's a lot of men out there who think that these women are beautiful and think that toughness and strength is beautiful. So just embrace that. And yeah, wow, I just it's crazy how you really reflect and really
I
like
know. No, I know. I know and I get it. Cause I mean, I think so many people can relate to that, to feeling that way and feeling like either not enough or too much. And I need to scale it back. But like, is there
yeah.
anything worse than knowing that you are just getting in your own way by thinking about these things? And it's not easy to just acknowledge that and shake it off. It's like, no, it's like it takes so long to like figure out accepting yourself, accepting your body, accepting these like gifts that you've been given and highlighting them rather than trying to like ignore them because it's not the normal thing. It's so crazy.
Oh my God, yeah. Nuts.
It
Yeah.
is like, I mean, I don't know if it's like a thing that comes with age, I think, and understanding yourself. And also, I mean, yes, the visibility of seeing more people like yourself on television, like the Beths, like the Chinas, like a Nikki Bella, of somebody that's just like jacked and like looks insane. Like Nikki's the best. Love
Stunning.
me some
I
Nikki
obsessed
Bella.
with
Love me some
her.
Brie Bella. Give me
Me
all of the Bellas.
too.
I love
Give
Mama
me
Bella.
all of them. Yes.
But it's funny because I even just for like myself, it's like I always remember like when I look back at pictures from like when I first started in WWE. I mean, I was like 27, something like that. Now I'm like 36. So looking back, I'm like, oh my God, I look so like thin. But it's like all I would do is just do cardio. I would only do cardio. And I've always been super strong, but I would never lean into it. I would always just be like, nah, I'll just do cardio. I'll just lift like 5, 10 pound weights. It's like, bitch, you know, you can lift more than that. You know, you're stronger than that. Like, use your body for what it's for.
Right.
Like, I have super strong legs, and I've always been really like just aware of them. If someone will be like, oh my God, your legs look jacked, I'm like, shut the up. I know, like, shut up. Like, I would hate it. But then
Right.
it's like, what a dumb thing. Like, why feel like that? It's so weird. The like stereotypes that have been ingrained in our brains from such a young age. Oof. It's a deep
And
dive right
also,
there.
can I just say how like you're literally aging backwards? Like you're literally aging backwards. And like me, like I was a fan of yours for a long time. And
Oh, thank
going
you.
back like when you were doing Total Divas and you were doing like the after party stuff. Oh my
Yes.
God. I've
After
always been
Total
a fan.
Divas. Oh,
And you would always stir the pot.
I love a little pot stirring.
Yeah.
It's my wheelhouse. I love it. I'm a huge fan. Also, I just like to circle back to Beth really quickly because I
Yeah.
love that Beth was one of those women that was such a huge role model for women when we didn't even know what we had in a Beth Phoenix at the time. And the
Completely agree.
fact that she came up through a certain generation, went away, and now she's wrestling again as
Yes.
her prime self in a generation of these newer women and these just different types of women. I love that Beth is back in the mix with that she can get the proper flowers that she deserves.
She totally does deserve it. Oh my God. She was a part of like such a wonderful, she's definitely part of the revolution to me, in my opinion,
Of
for sure.
course. Agreed.
And Mickey as well. Like, I definitely
Mhm.
have to mention Mickey. Mickey is incredible, incredible. And I'm so glad to see that, you know, she's having the opportunity to be a part of that company and to, you know,
Yeah,
be able
it's
to,
so
oh my
cool.
God. It's such an amazing time right now. Everybody's doing super, super, super well.